Let me tell you a story. It's about a group of people. They are not too well known. In fact, almost nobody talks about them. They're in the shadow, always in the shadow, and they hardly seem to get their message across. For the last 30 years, they've been repeating the same message. Only now, after all this time, the effects of their message are starting to show. Here are two of them. Number one, carbon emissions will start to dictate stock prices. Asset devaluation and stock price depreciation. This will most likely happen to companies that fail to modify their carbon output. Number two, Google data shows public interest in conservation is rising. In fact, people search for climate change as often as they do for conservation. In the long term, this is good news for all of us, right? After all this time, that group of people is finally starting to get its message across. They are the people that put climate change on the map and made it the trending topic. They are the first whistleblowers for a sustainable future, the scientists. But they need help. Remember I was telling you they've been sending this message for 30 years? These are some of them, titles of the articles they published, lots of them. But they weren't published in 30 years, not just in 10 or 5 years. These articles are from this month. This is how often they warn us. Very few of them get to us, sometimes none. So why aren't they grabbing the public's attention as forcefully as they should? Well, let me tell you. In an article published by BBC, the author focused on the effectiveness photographs have on raising awareness for climate change. In just one sentence, he pretty much defined why scientists' warnings on climate change are not grabbing the public's attention. This is why. The gases that cause global warming, such as carbon dioxide and methane, are colorless, while impacts are slow-paced and not always visually striking. This is not just for photographers. And this sentence is the answer for humanity's slow raising awareness for climate change. Impacts are slow-paced and not striking. Scientists are not backed up by a big ad agency that invokes strong emotions and constantly raise awareness on their findings. That's why everyone who wants to spread awareness counts. Leo is doing his part, and Elon Musk is just awesome. And still, the growth for climate change awareness remains slow-paced and not striking. What scientists lack is the ability to create strong emotions. That's why we need creative people on this. Photographers, writers, movie makers, vloggers, journalists, storytellers, basically. Returning to the BBC article, the author gave some tips. A powerful photo that people empathize with must contain places that are relatable to the common viewer, and it also helps if the photographer shows human faces in the frame. Relatable places and human faces. This is something that we need more of. That's why we need to back up the scientists' findings with stories. And this is why scientists need creatives. Links in the description for everything that I referred to. If you want to see more on this channel, click that like and that subscribe button. Keep hope alive.